Roaming user profiles allow users, when they access any domain-joined computer, to access their documents and have a consistent desktop experience. In other words, a roaming user profile contains all your personalization, customizations, and settings, like application preferences, toolbar positions, desktop appearance, and more. At the same time, all your related files remain stored on the network. In this video, we will learn how to configure user roaming profiles in Active Directory, step by step. To create a roaming profile, the first thing we need to do is open Server Manager, go to Tools, and open Active Directory Users and Computers. In Active Directory, navigate to the OU that contains your users. Here, we will create a security group, which we will use to assign permissions later. Right-click in the left-hand pane, select New, then Group. I'll call this group the IT group. You can name it anything you like. Make sure it's a security group and global. Click OK. Now add your users to this group. Select all the users, right-click, choose. Add to a group, search for your IT group, check names, and click OK. Now all the selected users are members of the IT group. The next step in our configuration process is to create a dedicated folder that will store all the roaming profiles for our domain users. To begin, open File Explorer and navigate to this PC. From here, choose the drive where you'd like to store the profiles. I'm selecting my server data, DR drive. But you are free to choose any drive or partition depending on your environment and storage structure. The key point is to choose a drive with sufficient free space because roaming profiles can grow over time. Once you're inside the drive, right-click anywhere in the blank area, go to New, and select Folder. Name this folder Roaming Profiles. You can name it anything you prefer, but using a clear and descriptive name like Roaming Profiles makes it easy to identify later, especially in large server environments. Next, right-click the folder you just created and open Properties. Navigate to the Sharing tab and click on Advanced Sharing to configure how this folder will be shared across the network. Inside the Advanced Sharing window, enable the option Share this folder. We now need to assign a proper share name. I am naming it roaming_profile $. The reason for adding the $sign at the end is to hide the folder from general network browsing. This is a common and recommended practice in enterprise environments for folders that should only be accessed by specific users or administrators. Click on Permissions, select the Everyone group, and change its permissions from read to full control. This does not mean that everyone will have unrestricted access. This is only for share permissions. We will properly secure the folder using NTFS permissions in the Security tab next. Click Apply and then OK. After that, go to the Advanced Sharing window. At this point, you will see the network path for the shared folder. Make sure to copy this path because we will need it later during user profile configuration in Active Directory. Next, switch to the Security tab and click the Advanced button. Here we need to adjust the NTFS permissions to ensure only authorized users and groups can access the folder. Click Disable Inheritance, and then choose Convert Inherited Permissions into Explicit Permissions. This gives us full control over which permission entries will stay and which ones must be removed. If we leave these entries in place, every user in the domain would be able to browse inside the Roaming Profiles folder, which would be a serious privacy issue. Roaming profiles must remain isolated so that each user can only access their own profile folder. After removing the unnecessary entries, click Add, then select Choose a principal, and type the name of the IT group that we created earlier in Active Directory. Click Check Names to verify the group, then click OK to add it. Now, set the permission type to Allow. Under Applies To, change the setting from This folder, subfolders, and files to This folder only. This ensures that the IT group has limited access, enough to manage the folder structure, but not enough to directly browse user data deeper inside. Next, click on Show Advanced Permissions and enable the following two options. Create Files/Write Data. Create Folders/Append Data. These permissions will allow the system to automatically generate individual profile folders for each user when they log in for the first time. Without these permissions, the server would not be able to create the required folder structure. Click OK, and finally OK again to save all changes. Before closing the window, double-check that you have copied the network share path from the Sharing tab. We will need this path shortly when assigning roaming profiles to users inside Active Directory users and computers. Once everything is confirmed, you can close the Folder Properties window. At this point, the shared folder for roaming profiles is fully prepared. The next step is to link this shared folder to each user's account so that their roaming profile can be automatically created and synchronized across the network. After setting up the shared folder with the correct permissions, the next step is to assign this folder as the roaming profile location for your users in Active Directory. Start by opening Active Directory users and computers again. Navigate to the OU organizational unit, where the user accounts are located. Select a user that you want to configure, then right-click on their name and select Properties from the context menu. In the Properties window, go to the Profile tab. This tab contains settings related to the user's profile, including the path where their roaming profile will be stored. In the Profile Path field, paste the network path of the shared folder that you previously copied. Append %username% at the end of the path, so it looks like \server name \roaming_profile $%. Username%. The %username% variable is important because it automatically substitutes the account name of each user when they log in. This ensures that each user's profile is stored in a separate folder named after their username, preventing conflicts and keeping each profile isolated and secure. If you need to assign the roaming profile path to multiple users at once, you can do so efficiently. Simply select all the users you want to configure, right-click the selection, choose Properties, and go to the Profile tab. Paste the same network path with the %username% variable, then click Apply and OK. This method allows you to assign the roaming profile location to multiple users simultaneously, saving time and ensuring consistency across the domain. Once the paths have been assigned, it's important to test the setup to make sure everything works as expected. On the server, open the Roaming Profiles folder. Initially, it will be empty because no users have logged in yet. Next, log into a client PC that is joined to the domain, such as a Windows 11 machine using one of the configured users. After the login process completes, return to the server and refresh the Roaming Profiles folder. This folder now contains the user's roaming profile, including all their personal settings, desktop customizations, and other profile data. This confirms that the roaming profile configuration is working correctly. And that's it. Now, whenever the user logs into any domain-joined PC, their profile, settings, and desktop customizations will follow them automatically.